Hey, what's up? It's your girl Love Ashe. This is going to be for the air signs for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is your weekly intuitive message. So whether you got your sun, your moon, your rising, or even your Venus in an air sign, this may resonate with where you are energetically right now. So this week you guys are dealing with the Devil reverse, the Justice card, the Page of Wands, and then underneath the bottom of the deck we have the Hermit card. And this right here is like, it's giving like breakthrough, but something that you really had to fight for. This is the kind of breakthrough that only comes after you've been like wrestling with yourself. You know how they say like wrestling with the devil, It's like after looking in the mirror and like admitting to yourself, like, yeah, I was letting that person have too much power over me, Yeah, I was letting that thing have too much power over me, So air signs, this week really marks the beginning of a major release for you. And it's so interesting that this release is coming right after the full moon in Libra, which was in an air sign, okay? And it's something that you've been wrestling with for a while here, right? With the Devil reverse. This is a sign that you're finally ready to walk away from something that's been chaining you down. And this doesn't have to be a person, okay? For some of you, this doesn't even have to be a toxic relationship. It can just be like a mindset, a fear, a coping mechanism, a cycle of self-sabotage, something that made you feel like you were stuck in a loop, in a cycle. No matter how much you tried to elevate, it kept pulling you right back down into your old ways and your old reactions and your old patterns. But this week, whatever that is, it's losing its power over you, okay? That temptation don't hit the same no more. That distraction, it ain't distracting, That habit is becoming harder to justify. And you're seeing it clearly now, and you're seeing how it's been costing you. Yeah. And you're waking up to the truth of what you've been giving your power away to, and you're choosing freedom, real freedom, not the kind that's like reckless, but do whatever you want to do. But this freedom is like, I'm done living in bondage to what no longer serves my highest and greatest good. And then we got the Justice card. Okay? Now this, energy here is you saying, okay, now we're going to make things right. Okay, with the Justice card. This Justice card shows up when it's time for things to come into balance. And I'm talking about like cosmic balance, okay? It's that internal click that happens when you finally choose peace over war. You choose truth about yourself or about a person or a situation over the comfortability of it. And so you might be facing a situation this week where your integrity is being tested. Someone may try to provoke you, play games, or twist the narrative up with you. But Spirit is saying, don't fall for it. Don't go back to proving yourself to people who've already made up their minds. Don't go back to explaining your boundaries to these people who have already shown they don't respect them. Stand in your truth and let karma handle the rest, baby. Especially with this Justice card here, baby. Let karma do what karma gonna do. And if you've been dealing with any type of legal situation, money matters, or emotional betrayal, something about this week feels like justice being served on a silver platter, okay? And it's not always the way you expect, okay? Justice is not always served in the way you expect. Sometimes the justice is peace. Sometimes it's clarity. Sometimes it's watching the things that used to shake you up no longer, get any type of reaction out of you. And so then we have the Page of Wands for you guys. And so this is your reawakening, your activation. This is you feeling curious again. You feeling excited about life. You feeling that spark to explore, to try something new, to move your body, to chase things that excite your soul again. And some of y'all are going to get a download this week, an idea, a message, a gut feeling that it's time to go after something different or return to something that you walked away from. And because you're clear now, because you're not moving from a space of addiction, obsession, or approval, this spark actually has space to grow now. And so this is about being brave enough to try again, brave enough to believe in something after a season of doubt, okay? And you don't need to know the whole path. What's next? What's the end game? You just need to take that first step with this Page of Wands here. The Page of Wands, he doesn't have everything figured out, right? But his heart is open. His spirit is ready. And that's all you're going to need this week to make some really amazing changes in your life. And then we have the honorable mention, I guess, the Hermit card underneath the bottom of the deck. And so the Hermit is what you've you've been in, right? That quiet season, that solitude, that pulling away from everybody in your life. Even, if life has been busy mentally, you've been somewhere else. You've been processing, trying to make sense of where you've been and where you're going. And this isolation was definitely preparing you to release or let go of whatever this is that you are letting go of this week, okay? So if this week feels like you're ready to come out of the closet, come out of the cave, it's because the isolation served its purpose. You're not emerging as that same version of yourself. You're way lighter now. You're wiser. You're more spiritually in tune with yourself. And you're not looking outside of yourself for confirmation because you found your own light and now you're ready to follow it. So now let's go ahead and do the afterthought where we break down for each individual air sign for some additional messages. So starting off with Gemini, this week is personal for you guys. You're breaking free from the mental prison, the overthinking, the what ifs, the self-doubt. You spent so much energy trying to figure out how other people feel about you, what they meant when they said this, why they pulled away, why they're acting this way and that. But none of that is yours to worry about anymore. And this week, you get to take your power back and redirect your mind towards your own healing and your own desires. And you got this fresh idea I see coming up for you. And, your spiritual team is saying, don't sabotage it. Don't sit on it too long. Don't wait for the perfect time. Take action on it. Follow your gut and, stop waiting for that perfect moment and create the moment. Libra. So justice is your card, Libra. So when it shows up in your weekly message, that's really big, especially with this full moon we just had in your sign. This is a spiritual realignment for you this week. If somebody betrayed you, if something felt unfair or unbalanced, just trust that it's being corrected now. This week isn't the week to chase for closure. Okay, let the scales balance themselves out. You've done your part. Your energy is way too precious to waste it explaining or figuring out or trying to get closure from something or someone. Okay, so focus your energy on your creativity. Okay, pick the pen back up, the paintbrush, the project, pick up whatever creative hobby, whatever business idea you have. Your healing is waiting for you, okay? And it's wanting to be expressed through some type of creative endeavor, and your power is in your peace, so make sure that you protect your peace. All right, Aquarius, so you've been quiet, been holding a lot in. Okay, you've been reflecting on your next move, but also kind of like waiting for a sign. Like there's so many different things that you want to do, But now is the time, okay? Because you've outgrown some type of old environment, old habits, old ways of shrinking. And this week asks you to take action on something, to move, to speak, to share, to start, right? The Page of Wands wants you to do it even if it's messy, even if it's not perfect. So someone around you this week may surprise you with a message, a reconnection, or an opportunity that reminds you of how far you've come. Stay open to it, as well as I see you guys getting more physically active as well this week, or the need to get more physically active. If you've been drawn to feel like you need to get a reading, or you need to go to church or something like that, or connect with your ancestors, this is your sign, okay? Yeah, so that is the message for you guys. I hope that you have an amazing week. This week is not the week to go backwards. You've worked too hard to get here. You've cried, you've healed, you've grown, and you see yourself clearly now. And now you get to walk in your power. Okay, you're free now, so it's time to act like it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.